Hello, my friends. Thanks for joining me today for Tassel Tuesday. Tassel Tuesday is an open collaboration that I host, and I host it 2 times per month on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. It's an open collab, so if you ever want to join in, you can. So I am making a tassel today. It's a special tassel. Well, I feel like all my tassels are special, but this one I'm making for a special person. And this person is somebody who won my giveaway that I did for my 1500 subby giveaway. And her name is JanetKay. So I had 4 winners, but she was the first name that I drew. And she actually won a gift card to my Etsy shop. Well, she couldn't decide what she wanted, so she asked me to just put a box of goodies together for her. Well, this is one of the things that I'm putting in her box of goodies. Today I am going to be using a combination of torn vintage cotton, which is what you see in my hand right now. I will also be choosing some lace and some ribbons and also some pearls that are already strung. You can see them kind of in the upper right hand corner of my desk. And then near the end I will be adding some larger pearls to the tassel once it's already made. In the beginning of the video, I snipped and tore the cotton pieces that I'm going to use, and I think I only have about 6 pieces, so I'm kind of just getting organized now. I'm pulling in all of the different items that I want to use. I hope everybody is doing really good. I am recording this on Friday, May 6th. But by the time you see it, Mother's Day will have come and gone. So that's this coming weekend. Well, it's this weekend, I should say. And I hope that each of you has a nice Mother's Day. I asked for Mother's Day, I asked for my craft room to get finished. And so I think that's actually going to happen, you guys. Then I can finally give it just a nice once over with cleaning, and then I can show it off to you guys. We've been talking about it for so long, and I'm looking forward to showing you. So I'm very hopeful that we will be able to do that. So that's pretty exciting news. So hopefully within 2 weeks. You know, my life right now it's a little bit, I don't know, there's just stuff going on, and it's kind of been a busy time, and I expect it to continue to be a little bit of a busy time. But if I can shoot a video of the showing off the craft room within 2 weeks, I will be very, very happy. So that's on the agenda. So all that has to get done this weekend is window treatments that need to go up, the spacers need to be put in between the cabinets, and honestly there's a few pieces on the floor that need to be done. Is that going to get done? I really do hope so. You know what? I need to push for it. It is Mother's Day after all. So fingers crossed it all gets done. So while I'm getting myself organized here with my ribbons and beautiful things, I'll give you a few little updates. I do have somebody very close to me that is going through some medical testing, and so that's been weighing on me a little bit, but you know, I really am trying to not be stressed out or overly concerned until we know if there's something to be stressed out or overly concerned about. But if you pray, I would love it if you would add my family to your prayer list, and then I will give you an update. Even if it's a bit of an inconspicuous update, I'll just let you know if everything's okay. But if there's something more to tell and I feel up to sharing that, then I'll do that. But I am hoping and praying that it's nothing major, and it's some health things that we can go ahead and just get fixed up and moving forward with our lives. I have some other changes coming up pretty soon. Actually, big career changes coming up for me. I will talk about that more later on as I approach summertime. I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. But it's positive changes. It's a change that I needed to make because of the health things that I'm going through. And I'm doing okay, but I feel the effects of it. And now that it's actually getting hot out, I'm starting to be very, very symptomatic again. And so I just have to eliminate some stress from my life, and I have to eliminate where I work to alleviate some environmental stressors. So got some changes coming up as far as that goes, which is a little scary, but I also think it's going to be a very positive change. If I didn't think it was going to be a positive change, I wouldn't make it. But I feel like it's something that I have to do. So more on that later on, though, as we get a little closer to summer, like I said. Besides all of that, we are doing very well in the Jovi house. And my kids, of course, they're my adult children, but they're my kids still. And they're all doing well in their respective areas of life. So, all good news there. Back to making our tassel. So I am just doing a little crisscross pattern here with my fibers. And actually, the way I end up doing this tassel, I did not need to do the crisscross. It's not that it hurt it, but it made it a little more challenging for me to get it onto the lobster claw clasp thing that I have. But that's okay. I did manage to get it on there. I put it on a lobster claw clasp because I wanted JanetKay to be able to put it on her purse if she wanted to, hang it from a journal if she'd like to. She can add ribbon to that. She can hook that on ribbon and hang it over a doorknob. That way it just gives the ability to have a variety of ways to hang or use her tassel. If you hear some strange clicking going on in the background, that is Andrew playing some video games. So I'm just mentioning it just in case you hear something and you were wondering, what that was. So here I am. I was twisting this to see if I could get it through that lobster claw clasp. How do we say it? Yes, lobster claw clasp. But there's just way too much material. So I end up threading the material through like one piece at a time. It was a challenge, but I got the job done. So here it is. It's all put together. Now I'm going to go ahead and tie that piece around the top of it, and we do that in order to secure the fibers in place. It looks gray and fluffy like this, but you don't have to tug very hard to pull all of those fibers right out of there. So I always secure them into place because you never know how this tassel might be used. I ended up using almost this slippery trim right here, and it was really hard to tie in a double knot. Well, it wasn't hard to tie it in a double knot. It was hard to keep it tight while I tied it in a double knot. But I was holding it down with my pinky while I was doing it, and I think I accomplished it. So hopefully I did. Once I get that piece of ribbon tied around it, I always tug on them a little bit just to, because sometimes they get caught up in each other and they just look kind of funny. So if you just tug on them real gentle, then you can kind of pull them down into place. Now I'm just going to grab my scissors and I'm going to trim up some of the extra long pieces. I do want this to look a little bit shabby, so I'm not going to worry about everything being the same length. I do want a variety of lengths. Now I'm going to go ahead and thread some of these large pearls onto some of the trim, and I have to admit some of these gave me a run for my money, and it was actually the trim piece was kind of coming apart at the end and making it difficult to push through the pearl. So I ended up, well, I first tried using my pokey tool to push them through, and it worked a little bit, but not as efficiently as I would have liked. So then I added some glue to the end of some of them, and that helped a little bit, but they did end up continuing to fray somewhat. So, well, I'm going to show you what I did. After struggling with trying to use my pokey tool and trying to glue the ends of it and all that, I remembered something that Maria at Maria's Miscellany showed us one time. And she took a piece of probably jewelry wire, because that's really fine, and that's what I'm using here. And you take it and you fold it in half, and then you put your thread through it, and then well, I did this the opposite. I put my bead on it first, I think, and then I put my thread through it. But at any rate, the point is, it makes it really simple to pull either your thread or your trim up through either the bead, or in this case, I was using a bead cap. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in one more time and show you what I did. First, right here I was just getting the rest of the bead caps out and ready to go. Alright, so I have that jewelry wire, and you can see how it's folded over. I just put the trim right through it. Now I'm taking the bead cap and I am pushing that jewelry wire through the bead cap, and now I'm pulling the trim through, and look how easy that was. So I could have done that with the pearls too, but I had already got those done. By the time I was done with those, the fabric or the trim was really fraying on the end. So this was a great solution to that problem. Plus the holes in the bead cap were not quite as big as the ones in those big pearls. So this was definitely a great way to be able to finish the job. So here is a strand of the beads up close. There's 5 on 2 of them, and then on 2 of them there's 3, and then there's the little bead cap on the end. I'm sorry it's a little blurry. I think it's going to come into focus here. There it is. But and then so I had the bead cap, and then I just tied the trim. My friends, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.